On Wednesday, the state of Arizona is scheduled to execute an inmate for the first time in over 2 years. Aaron Gunches will be put to death for murder and kidnapping. But this story isn't just about him. It's also about the man he killed, Ted Price, and the family Ted Price left behind. A family that's been dealing with the loss, the trials, and now likely the final outcome for 23 years.
I have sympathy for all of the families that have to go through this because the initial murder of your loved one is just the beginning.
Karen Price knows that firsthand. Her brother Ted was killed back in 2002 by Aaron Gunches, who's scheduled to be executed for the crime on Wednesday morning. Ted was Karen's big brother.
He was a kind person. He was always sympathetic to people who had less than him. Not every person has those qualities, but he did.
Karen says Ted was living out of state, but came back to Arizona to find his ex-wife, named Kat, hooked on meth and living in squalor with her 2 children who he cared about.
Ted threatened to turn Kat into CPS for what was going on. And Kat called the drug dealer, Aaron Gunches, that was her drug dealer, and said, my ex is here. He's making noise about turning him into CPS. That cannot happen. You need to come take care of this. So his solution was take Ted out into the desert and kill him.
Kat was never put on trial for the murder. Gunches was found guilty, given the death penalty. 23 years after she lost her big brother, Karen, who lives on the East Coast, says she needs to be here when Gunches is executed.
And I feel like I have to see this through. I have to be there for Ted, representing the family for this last action.
Anti-death penalty forces across the country have been successful in delaying executions with different strategies, like questioning the drug protocol used and calling lethal injection procedures cruel and unusual punishment. What do you say to people who are anti-death penalty?
So I've said this before, walk a mile in my shoes and then let's have a conversation about it. Because you don't know what it feels like to have a family member murdered until it happens to you.
I texted with Karen today. She just welcomed a brand new grandchild into the world, but she says it looks like she is going to make it out here to Arizona from the East Coast to witness. And I've also been chosen as a media witness to this execution, so I'll have full coverage of what happens before and after on 12 News this week. My entire conversation with Karen Price is available to watch right now on 12 Plus. When you get there, go to the Troy-Hayden-Reports section if you'd like to watch that.